Hi everyone, I am back with another haul video. All of these items are things that I have been accumulating over the past month or so as I've been visiting various thrift stores and estate sales. And the reason I've been doing that is because I'm a mixed media artist. I love looking for vintage items that I can upcycle or paint on or recreate, repurpose into new things. And then I discovered junk journaling recently in the past 6 months or so. And so I've just been devouring a whole bunch of junk journaling videos and media to learn about it. And I've made a few, but I've been very unhappy with the results of those. Yeah, I haven't liked them. And I think what I've been doing is trying to figure out what my style is. So as I've been doing that and learning more, I have been doing more shopping, and I've got several bags of items that have been taking up some space on my floor that I thought I would go through in a haul video while I am organizing everything to put them away and to kind of figure out what I have accrued here. So I have, these came from a thrift store, and I live near Seattle, and I love these. This guy in this little shorty robe is my favorite. So I'm very happy to have found 2 of those to use. I love old recipe books. The way that food was done in the past, I mean, I guess I'll be saying that about the food now, right? But there's just something about these books and how it was photographed and the font and the appliances in these books that I just love. I love all the pastels and the colors there, like these graphics. I'm gonna make sure that I am in focus and that y'all can see everything. Okay. I won't spend too much time on each thing because we've got quite a pile to go through. But I will just sort of flip through and see how lovely all these graphics are. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with these images and with the photos that are in here of all these cakes. It's so great. What is happening? What are those for? Okay, well, yeah, look at this. This is so cool. Make sure y'all can see that. Yeah. So I love this one. I can't wait to, dive into this and start making some tags and journaling cards and signature pages with these images. Let's see when this is from. Did I have this is a first edition. Gosh, that's really, really tiny. And I don't even see a date on there. First edition, 4th printing. Oh, I think that says 1968. I've got a little magnifying glass here. Oh, 1966 is what that's from. Got a couple of sets of napkins. I've been watching people do some pretty cool things with napkins, so I thought I'd try my hand at those, and got those fairly inexpensively at one of the thrift stores near my home. And some photo corners. Not sure if I'll use them, but they were like 50 cents at the thrift store, so I figured I would try. Pick those up and see if they can come in useful. I love old vintage children's books, especially children's, Evelyn's book. Oh, little Evelyn. Textbooks. I like children's textbooks. This is from 1949. I have a whole row on my bookshelf of old textbooks from the 70s. But this one's a lot older. And I love it. Look at these illustrations. They look like they were hand-drawn by the illustrator. Just, what? It's so weird. The illustrations in here are very weird. Whoa. Hello, fat phobia. All right, trigger warning for that. That is, where did we get all this from? Diet culture was not bred just this past decade. It has been around for a long time. I'm an eating disorder specialist as a therapist, and so I see things like that and just wonder all of the damage. I know all the damage that has been done to so many of us because of messages that came in a children's textbook. Okay, moving on from that. I could go on a whole diatribe about diet culture's harm. This is a baby book, obviously, by Tony Sarg. Look at these beautiful images and these little baby cherubs. And I'm not sure if there's a date on this one. Written and illustrated by Tony Sarg. Oh, 1943. Yes, I found some pretty old things in here that are... I think this is gonna be... I almost like don't wanna... Like, I know I've said this before, but I feel so... like I want to protect all of these older things as if they're like ancient relics, and I know that they're not. And so I have to like learn to be okay with just giving this a new life and not just having these sit on, going from one shelf in somebody else's house to a new shelf in a thrift store to a new shelf in my house and not being, I don't know, seen or appreciated. But I think this is a stunning book that I found. I love these images. I love the like storybook quality to the font. How cute is that? You know, I do have a friend who had a baby recently, and I might need to send this to her instead of using it. But obviously I could not pass this up. It is, oh my God, the baby's face is kind of creepy there. Love this. Very happy with that find. I loved the cover on this book, this social living book. I think this is also a textbook, like a, I think it's a social store, like a, what am I trying to, sociology textbook? But I love the cover. I might use this hardcover in some sort of journal of itself because I think this is really, really cool. And yeah, this is a sociology textbook from the State College of Washington. And it is copyright 1953. And there are some pretty cool images in here from the 50s and probably earlier that I'm sure I can use. Look at that. Cute. Too early marriage is risky, but friendship may lead to marriage, should grow and ripen in high school and college years. Why the behavior of dating and courtship is important to marriage. That would be fascinating to read what sociology students were learning about marriage. Companionship is the goal of modern marriage. Wow. We haven't improved much there, have we? That's a cool image. Pick your social groups. The individual should identify himself with groups which help him attain character traits that he admires. A meeting of YMCA members considers legislative problems. So fascinating. Establishing our position in society. Ooh, the social hierarchy on which we are all non-consensually placed. The Big Apple was a passing craze. Is it a dance? Oh my goodness. So there's probably a lot to mine here in my social living 1950s sociology textbook. This is another baby book. I scored on the baby books this time. It's preserved obviously really well in this box, and it's like plushy, kind of a quilted, well, plushy, there's like batting underneath that to make it soft, and it has this like silky texture on the top, and that's our own baby. And then these really sweet pages. What's funny is that I'm not much of a baby person. I had one child of my own, and that is enough. And I'm very glad that he is a teenager now. I think raising and working, living with a teenager is so much easier than raising a baby, and I know that I'm not typical in that at all. Being a single parent, being the only parent of a baby and a newborn was incredibly challenging. And I think I might have a little PTSD from when he was a baby and I was on my own. Yeah. So I love, I think this is very sweet. I think it's sweet because it's cute and vintage. But I do tend to pick up a lot of vintage children's related items. But I don't want you to drop off your actual baby at my house. No, thank you. Speaking of more kid stuff, To School and Home Again. I think this is a California State textbook, is what that says. It says, it is the duty of the pupils to assist the state by guarding and using this book with care, so that it may yield good service. Let me see if I can get that closer so you guys can see that. Only one book will be given to a pupil. He should cover with paper to either or other protective material, and should he lose, damage, or destroy the book, he should replace it. Okay, State of California, laying down the law. This is from 1940. Copyright 1940. To Home and School Again. So obviously this just has some incredible vintage images that I will very much enjoy using. Run, Jimmy, run. Run, Nancy, run. Jimmy and Nancy ran and ran. Isn't this perfect? I love it. I wish I had several copies of this so I wouldn't have to feel like I have to be selective about using it. Does anybody else have that problem? Like, I'm already sad about using it. And I haven't used it yet. I need to work through that. It's like a sense of it's all gonna go, I'm not gonna have enough of it. This is probably from this late, like the early 70s, I'm guessing, maybe. Oh no, 1955, oh no, 71. I was gonna say that seems like it looks like a 70s item. So this is a book of poems about friendship. But I just thought these like graphics were really pretty and could be used in some retro journals. Isn't that cute? Great, beautiful, bright graphics or illustrations. Very 70s. So cute. Look at that one. Yeah, so there's some cool stuff in here too. Okay, a few more, well, quite a few more things. These are just some like tags that I'm not sure, they were cheap. So I bought them, see if there's something I can use. They're pretty thick cardstock. They're lined. They might be something I can use. Here's some actual paper tags that are pretty, they're pretty. They are like lined in gold and floral. Another pattern, love. And then these, I got 2 of these. And these are like, they're Cynthia Rowley gifts, I think, that were at the thrift store. And what I think these are, let me just take a minute and cut into these. Let me pan out a little bit. I think these are like little, like note cards. How to get this off? There we go. Yeah, they're little like, not as thick as cardstock, but not quite as thin as just like printer paper. So I figured these might look cute as little tags that can go in tug spots. And so there's this color, and then there's this green and blue color. So I picked those up. There's a ton of that. My goodness, I will never run out of that. And then I found some slides of the Canadian something scene. So these are all, there's Lake Louise, Peyto Lake, Mount Rundle, and Moraine Lake. But these will look great in some vintage journals as little ephemera. This I am super excited about. I could not believe I found this, and for so cheap. It was sitting up at the register when I went to check out. It was just sitting up there, and I was certain that somebody had like set it aside because they wanted it. So I asked the lady at the register, and she's like, "No, it's available if you want it." They're old Valentines. Like, these are little. I don't know if you can see the perforations. Can you hear my teenager in the background? He's playing video games with his friends online. So what's the date on this? Is there a date on this? I don't see a date on the front. We might find one as we go along. Oh my gosh. Look at these, y'all. Let me see if I can pan out just a little bit more. No, that's it. So, oh my God, I haven't looked through this yet fully. So cut envelopes on red line. It gives you directions on how to create these Valentines. The paper is very old and brittle. So I'm not exactly sure how I will use this, if I'll actually do the folding and the creating of the Valentines, but look at these images. Look at these illustrations. I feel like I feel very, very happy to have found these. You are just my speed. We'll have a circus if you'll be mine. Rabbits love carrots, and I love you. You're for me, kitten. And then these images on the backs of the Valentines. I love these. I think I will need to make some photocopies of this before I use it so that I can print some more out for other journals. But these are all perforated. All of these. I don't know if you can see that, but these are perforated so that you can punch those out. And I just love the colors on this design. What do you guys think the year is from this? When do you think these were printed? Guess who? Pants for you? Pants. You have tamed me, I'm yours. Here's an earful. You are my queen. I wish I could find a year on this. Any guesses? I'd love to hear what your ideas are on the year this was sent out. The year this was available. Obviously, I'm thinking latest 50s, maybe somewhere in the 40s. So that one I was really excited about. This I also found at that same thrift store. A Life magazine from 1947. 15 cents. Yearly subscription was $5.50. My son is being so loud. So there's some, obviously Life magazines are full of, look at that car, these ads. Oh, look at her. Don't let oh my gosh, don't let yourself slip. Self-polishing wax is anti-slip. How many of you are wearing heels when you wax your floors? I know I sure am. So next shorts, old friend, look for the sand fries label. The comfort never shrinks away from the garment with the sand fries label. I don't really want to know what's going on. I don't want to know what's happening in the 40s. Was it like, I don't know. Okay, let's move on. Let's just move on. We've got this ironing ad. Look at all these radios. The champion of table radios. You guys, I also got a brand new to me for free, a 1970s electric typewriter yesterday. I'll have to do another video showing that. The guy who was giving away on Facebook Marketplace, he collected old radios, so that's what made me think of that. Look at that. So obviously there are, it's like Edward Scissorhands. This is what inspired, who's the creator of that? Tim Burton? Wow. Look at these. I got very lucky. What is happening with that? This is going to also be very hard for me to tear into. But actually seeing that I have so much stuff that I've accumulated already, so many items, and then it really wasn't too hard to find. Like, I don't get items like this on every single time I go to the thrift store, but I go enough to find these things. And so it helps me realize that I don't need to like hold on to it because there's never going to be any more. If I was able to find these relatively easily, then I'm sure there'll be more in the future. So I'm just going to let myself enjoy creating art with them. Okay, that is what we've got for the books and other things. And now I've just got some fabrics. I know I've told you in the past that I love eyelet and eyelet trim. And so this is a blanket, a quilt that was $2, but it has a whole lot of fabric on here for $2 that I'm going to disassemble and use in my journals. And then this fabric I thought was really cute. Looks like something that would have been around in the 70s. I don't know if it's actually vintage fabric, but it looks like it could be. And this looks like something that may have been around at some point in the vintage decades. More eyelet and ruffle. This actually does look antique. I would be very surprised if that is not. And then this is not vintage fabric, but it looks like it. I'm planning on doing several quilting journals. My sister-in-law is a quilter, and I want to make her a journal, and I feel like this will be really good fabric to use in that journal because it's already kind of looks like it's been quilted together. And I may do some stitching on the top to just sort of enhance that feature. But I actually really love this. I think this is some sort of a shower curtain. It is a curtain of some kind, and I would absolutely hang this in my home. This is definitely my style. Okay, so that is it for this haul. In the next haul video, I'll make sure to show you the new typewriter I got. It works. I plugged it in. I need to get a ribbon for it, but I'm very excited to have a typewriter. I've been looking and looking and looking for an old typewriter and haven't been able to find one that was reasonable. So when I saw a free one, I jumped on it and got it yesterday. Very excited about that. I always heard about, like, people would talk about how they found these things on Facebook Marketplace for free, and I was always like, how? But I got really lucky yesterday. Okay, thanks for following along. If you are enjoying any of these, I would love to hear from you, love for you to like this video, and I'd love to follow along and see your videos as well. All right, bye.